But you can also check out We Go Live. Scott Free and Courtney Lynn are out here. You know, she's the chef too. She's cooking up a storm, making great meals, and then they've got this incredible production team to ensure that the eloquence of each artist is exposed on that screen. It's insane.
Oh, wow.
It's insane. And then of course Seven is back. Poetry Lounge coming back September 4th, first Sunday of the month, and I'm just so excited about it. So if you're an artist and it's the first time you've never gotten on a mic, go. Be there at 6. And you can find out more information if you check out Long Live the Arts or The Arts Advocate on Facebook or Instagram, because we are always happy to share people's info. Another thing that you can check out even tonight. So after this show, you can check out an open mic with Black Snow. I believe it's at 8 o'clock. Also, Word Up with Marcus, DeMaurice and Duchess Pendragon. They have a show tonight. This Saturday, there's a show at the Montrose Center called Out Loud. There's another production going on. It's just too many to name. But if you have never experienced art in the city of Houston, I promise you it is time, because we have completely perfected it. We even got soul poetry coming out, leaving from, only having ever so often shows at the Houston Improv, the biggest stage in the city, to now preparing to be at the Houston Post, the old post office on Pope. Yes. And so, they have Poetry Under the Stars. I think they have it. There's a video on their soul poetry website. So if you go to We Are Soul Caritas, soul-caritas.com, you can get more information on how to get tickets. But for $40, you get a live experience with people who have been all across the country and who have been acclaimed on different contests, because they have taken the artists, the greatest of the city, and even the ones upcoming, and put them in a documentary called Pens, Poetic Energy Needed in Society. And there's a joke about it, because the I is not pronounced in pens, but someone did mark that up, so ha ha ha. But there is definitely a poetic energy needed in society, and to know that there are people who have the tools and resources to provide them, I say thank you. Long live the arts. But Mike, what is your favorite form of art?
Music.
Okay. And who's your favorite musician?
I have several.
Okay. Who are they? What's up?
So, I'll say for right now, it gets me going in the kitchen. So I have two different types, right? So I need something I can feel,
Okay.
right? So depends on my mood. So breakup songs are those are feelings. Nobody really makes songs like that anymore, but Giveon is one.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going through with him.
The
what he's going
balloons are
through
deflated.
with his when he was making this album.
Yeah.
But great vibes.
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
Some Janae Aiko.
I love her.
Her,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, and Jasmine Sullivan.
Well, she always gonna win.
On the rap side, I listen to Crit, Currency, Big Sean, Nipsey, Slim Thug as well. Got my boy D-Lo.
It's just Slim.
It's just Slim now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped. It's grown, but it's the grown man stuff now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
we grew in it.
So him, Currency, Big Sean, Big Crit, the things they talk about in their music, I can relate to as a grown man. I can't relate to Lil Yachty and
Gibberish.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
those
like bars.
those are the artists I listen to, the musicians I listen to.
Now, have you ever gone to any of their concerts?
Oh, definitely.
So, okay, you are a
Big-
concert attendee. Okay.
Yeah, Big Sean. I haven't been to Big Sean's concert, not yet. But Big Crit, Currency. Me and my wife actually just saw Alex Isley. Alex Isley. I don't know if you've heard of her. Music is nice. Almost like a neo soul, but she's the daughter of Ernie Isley from the Isley Brothers.
Okay.
So-
Come on, family tree extended.
Hey man,
All right.
but music, yeah, that's what gets me going.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you had to choose between not hearing music anymore or not feeling it, what would you pick?
That's a hard one because
Because
can't-
think about it though, we can't hear no music playing right now.
Right.
And you can
you
feel,
can still feel
it, right?
right.
A memory, a real.
I will probably say to not hear it. And the reason why I say that because you say nothing about not seeing the lyrics. So
Oh,
you can
yeah.
still read it
Feel
and you'll have it with your own emotion. Not the emotion that they're singing in,
Mm-hmm.
but you still have your own emotion. So I would probably say here,
Okay.
because the feeling part, because if you hear it without any feeling, then everything at that point is the same. It's almost like
Not-
it's like losing your taste bud. Nothing is
COVID.
there's nothing. Oh
COVID's
yeah,
coming.
man, look,
Look, I'm
I
telling
want
you.
no parts of that.
I gotta be honest though, y'all. Like, thank you God I ain't had it. I don't want it. I appreciate my lungs being clear, but thank God that everyone who has had it is still here, because those who are not, like, it's tough.
Man.
That's a level of grief that don't nobody really just know how to articulate so much.
Definitely.
But there is something incredible about art therapy, and I'll extend that. Art therapy is not just music. Sometimes it's the act of art. You seen Ghost?
Yeah.
The pottery scene.
Mhm.
I have this dream to remake that scene with paint. I just want to throw old sheets on my patio and put paint on my hands and just rub them on canvas. The texture, that cold to that rough, and just make something happen. It is something so freeing, and children do it all the time,
Yeah.
right? Like, and they're so happy. Now then you want to bring in science, and it's like, oh, they use too much red and black, something wrong with them. No, but they can evoke certain emotions from that. But for an adult, we got paint with a twist. We got different, events you can go to and paint. But even the sexual freedom, the openness of ABC Body Art. Earlier this month we had Vanetta Berry of ABC Body Art, and she is a world-renowned body painter. The woman is just incredible. She's also an erotica author. But her ability to help people, men, women, and those who are not identifying as either, embrace their bodies, embrace their roles, and even hide them with a little paint. I think it's really incredible. But if you're experiencing any type of grief, depression, shame, or guilt, anything that has you feeling like, you're in a rut, there's something about art that can actually free you. And so I recommend getting painted, or go to paint something, or getting a pen and just allowing your words to fall out. It's that internal imprisonment, if you will, of not allowing yourself to divulge what it is that's keeping you quiet. And so there's this unapologetic expression that you can experience with True Project, this display of artists who are living out loud, telling their unapologetic truth through healing. And in doing so, you realize that there is no point of music without feeling. There's no point of drums or bass or keys or microphones if you can't feel a room. And I mean with the I and two E's. Like, you need to fill that room with some energy. You need to fill the room with yours, and be able to exchange in a space that allows you to truly understand how it goes to our core. Like the Southern hymns, the humming, the sound of our ancestors and forefathers who sang their way through painful moments. And I mean pain-filled moments. And even more so, how mothers and fathers and parents can lull their children to sleep and put them in a place of peace, because the ease of the eloquence they speak is so beautiful.
Definitely. And I feel that way, about music is my channel, right? I wish I could sing, cannot.
You can, just not well.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of out of tune. But even still, music helps me focus, helps me concentrate.
Okay, like studying.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like when I was studying, I would listen to not Mozart's. What is the guy's name?
Beethoven.
It's not Beethoven. Guy who sings New York, New York.
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. I put on Frank Sinatra station, and it'll just be calming. Thoughts will flow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while I'm in the kitchen, I need a different flow, fast pace.
Okay.
Most of the time. So every now and then I may want some R&B just to feel, but for the most part, I'm fast paced. So that's my T.I., Jeezy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you got to throw some Wayne in there too.
yeah. I got Wayne, but something that, because I need to be motivated in that sense as well, which is why I like Big Sean, because a lot of stuff he talks about is just making it from the bottom.
Getting it done. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I had visions I would make it here. So I listen to something that's gonna keep me motivated and also upbeat.
Okay. Now I want to say that Long Live the Arts is the mantra for the Arts Advocate. The Arts Advocate is a nonprofit organization that culminates and cultivates creativity by way of offering therapeutic arts and open spaces to curate creative space for those who need to express better, right? Or heal. But with the concept of this production, it's really exciting to me because on the People's Podcast, we have freedom of speech. And while we have that, we get to share with the audience, with our family, like, hey, y'all, art is therapeutic. Art is imperative. And if you have not had access to it, I want to give it to you. So go on YouTube and subscribe to your favorite artists. Like, literally, it's incredible how artists I've never even listened to have like 12 million plus views on their songs. Like, I am a virgin to Sade and Prince. I don't know not any of them songs.
Oh wow.
So shout out to Rain King because she gave me a whole assignment and I failed. I forgot the wine. Apparently, we gotta have a bubble bath and some wine and Sade. I forgot the glass. And so I'm just like fast forwarding through the songs because I'm just not feeling it. And I feel bad for feeling nothing, but I think there's just certain things that are required with certain songs. I need to be like just dumb in love or, I don't know, inebriated. And I wasn't. And so I'm just like, get me out of here.
For me, that's Prince.
You can't get with him?
His music, I can get into any mood that I want.
Really?
Here, I can sing a song in my mind right now, and be feeling my body moving with.
Seriously.
To me, that's the.
Now, see, I haven't listened to him yet. I haven't seen Purple Rain Los. I ain't seen nothing. I know the name Apollonia because people have said it, but I don't know. I was a child when it was a thing.
For me, most Prince songs were recycled. Like that work was the best ones, especially when he does some jazz and he does some rock and he mixes in the others. And then his words, and it all depends on what was going on at that time in the world.
Yeah,
that's what his words are about. Yeah, to me, he was the greatest entertainer. I mean,
he was the only entertainer nobody questioned. Like, nobody questioned his sexuality. They gossiped about it.
Right.
But then nobody questioned him to his validity of being on a stage in front of all these people, in front of people's mamas and their babies. Like, I know the history of, his audacity, his expressionism, and how much women loved him.
That's the only man who's shorter than somebody's husband and can still take your woman wearing his.
Right. Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, like, I've heard that so many times.
That's how it was when we hear out there. Prince and Kim like that to me. Because he knows his music.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. That's what they say about the choir directors. So what's the best song to listen to? Because I figure, I'm off tomorrow. When I get done with this show, I might need to go listen.
There's so many. For you, I would go to Signs of the Times.
Signs of the Times.
And listen to the songs on there.
Okay.
Yeah, because it pretty much talks about the time that we were in at that time. So it's kind of like art and poetry. So I think I would go with that. For me, that's what I think. Folk, that's jazz. That's jazz right there.
And see, I love live jazz. Kyle Turner is one of my favorite sax players. I've actually shared the stage with him a few times. I met his daddy, Artist Turner. He's a TSU alumni too.
Another one is Any Slow Jam. Any Slow Jam
by Prince. Now, see, I'd be more interested in like bringing Mary Turner and some people who can actually harmonize. Oh my gosh! I'd like to hear somebody do a rendition to it live. I would rather hear it like in an intimate setting, like at Phil and Derek's or outside somewhere. But I'll check it out.
Sade's good as well. Love Deluxe, Lovers Rock. I
didn't hear none of them. The ones I was told, they didn't go. They didn't go past 30 seconds for me.
Listen to Taboo.
No, okay. The Sweetest Taboo. No, the two I could listen to was A Kiss of Life, but I got tickled because I kept thinking like, oh, you got resuscitated. Like, I got CPR certified too.
That's one of me and my wife's favorite.
But then this is No Ordinary Love. Now that the lyrics were beautiful. Right. That one was actually really sweet.
Which one?
Yeah, I couldn't get past it. The 30 seconds,
yeah,
I was skipping.
You have to go. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that Lovers Rock album was.
Like, let me know, y'all. Do I need red or white wine to really enjoy this lady? Because
to me personally, I guess because I grew up in the house
with her, yeah.
I need no wine. I'm not a drinker, no way. But I don't need.
Maybe I need some cheesecake.
I don't need. Yeah,
I
cheesecake.
need something.
But
I guess whatever puts you in a good mood.
Yeah.
Sade is a good vibe. If you know what I'm saying, you just sit and listen. Like I don't. He only put out one album, but I promise you, he did all the instruments. He did everything on the album. Remy Shan.
Who?
You're not gonna know him.
Remy Shan.
Remy Shan. It was almost like I'm not even gonna say like a Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai is good as well, but Remy Shan he did one album, but that album was great.
It went.
Yeah, that was a good album. That was a solid album.
Okay. So let me ask you, when you think of your wife, what song comes to mind?
Brian McKnight one. I can't think of the name of the song. The Eagles Forget How to Fly.
Oh, I love that song.
So,
yeah.
that one.
That's a beautiful song. Come on now. Come on now.
That was actually our wedding song. GQ. Damn, I can't think of it. That was like their biggest hit.
Who was it?
GQ.
Outstanding.
No. That's Gap Band.
Let me find out you got bars and you can sing.
Yeah, that was Gap Band. Outstanding. Are you looking up GQ?
I am.
I used to have that album. But
It'll come to me. But that, and then I know the way people feel about R. Kelly. But
hey, look, I wasn't there.
When
He didn't pee on me. That boy got bars and he can still blow.
When I met my wife at Chocolate Factory was the album. That was it. Chocolate Factory and Jaheim.
So you got Disco Night, Sit in the Park, Don't Stop This Feeling, I Do Love You.
I do love you. I do love you. Do, 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 do.
Oh, come on now. You better say they the white.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That song, that's the jam. But those are the songs that remind me of. And also Otis Redding.
Now, yeah. Yo, he's my friend's like great uncle or something.
Really?
Yeah, just found that out. So the artist, well known as Sankofa B. Soleil, now resides in Belize, but one of my favorite musicians. This person is so gifted, can self-teach themselves how to play instruments, like plays 9, does all kinds of expression, just wrote I think their 3rd book, but incredible artist, Sankofa B. Soleil. And I think after talking to their grandparents recently, found out that that's their extra great uncle or something.
Oh wow. Yeah,
but like
Otis
you talk
Redding.
about musically inclined,
Yeah.
their whole line.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Prince too. He did his first record. He did all of it.
Yeah.
Really?
Instruments.
Yeah, did everything.
Music, everything.
Well, see, my first album I did, you know, Courtney Prince, who be on the chat with us. She's my guitarist. The producer, Jason Williams, he's my drummer. And then I'm just talking. But the music on my albums, that's from Bernard James. Like, I feel like there's no need to go pay for something when you have access to the best tools within reach.
Bring them out.
Right? Oh, for real? No, I'm telling you, like, I've been streaming music.
Right now, it's your shit.
You know, it's my shit.
Right.
All mine.
So there's no copyright.
All mine, but I give credit where it's due.
Right.
But like I've been streaming since 2018, and sometimes I still get surprised by the things that came out my mouth because I'm just freestyling, right? Like I think maybe 3% of my albums are written. But you know, it's just something about art. Like I was telling my mom earlier today because she's like, you know, how's work going? I mean, you know, I'm doing a good job, but I sometimes feel like my job is not doing a good job to me, right? Like I go to work and I provide the best service to these, you know, employees and make sure that they feel seen, heard, and understood and provided for. But for me, I don't have that same thing if I don't have art or the freedom. So the best thing I can say about my job is I'm off 3 days a week. And I'm so grateful because I have time for my self-care. Thank you, Henry. And to me, it's such a care. Thank you, because getting these massages on a consistent basis and starting this personal training, like it is so helpful. And I think it's more advantageous to testify in real life what's going on in the now so people can really understand how you cannot afford not to invest in your self-care. Like you really do need to let this lady get with you, because the concept of how much she puts into her passion of her work, I respect it. I really thank you, Tamia, because my body does not hurt when it rains anymore. And I mean, like, That's the thing. I've been diagnosed with all kinds of back problems from C1 to L5S1, and I don't feel any pain outside of like a couple shoulder aches sometimes. So need to get with life, y'all. Get a massage. But even more so, like my sweet tooth has got to be fulfilled. And so like, thank you, She's So Cold, for having this vendor at your show, because that's how you know like people know great people and they fuck with good business. Because I don't know how you met her, how y'all got connected, but it's just always great when you can extend past that one moment and really invest in building a relationship, building trust, building support, and sharing this quality, because ain't nobody ever had no banana pudding cheesecake. But let me tell you, in Missouri City, Fort Bend County, it go down. Mike got you. And I mean, like, if you have some off the wall and like idea of what you want to make, I think he probably just upcharge it, but give it to you anyway. Like, is there any cake you have not been able to excel in?
Not yet. Like I said, right now, our latest cake is the Tres Leches cake.
Now look, I just told somebody today, I've only had it store bought and it was a mistake. And I was told that it's actually delicious.
It is.
So I might need to come see you for a slice of Tres Leches.
So
I don't know.
So I want to try the Italian cream.
I
I want to try.
Yeah.
But my Tres Leches was probably giving me a little bit more trouble than any of my other cakes. So
You use milk, almond milk, condensed milk, a little bit of all of
well,
them.
with Tres Leches, it's all three. So I'm using regular milk, condensed and evaporated.
Oh, look at me.
So all leches in there.
Yeah,
Amy gave you a challenge, a tiramisu one.
she did.
Now, ooh.
She did say a tiramisu.
Now see, shout out to Amy. So Amy, Mrs. Wolf, she makes cakes too. Y'all gotta check her out on her social media because Little Red, Ryan Hood. Little Red makes cakes and she hand paints them. So I really do have this vision of like a collaboration coming up of her paint on your cake and see how that goes. But then I have to try her carrot cake, which I don't even like sweet vegetables, but I'm gonna try her carrot cake because I saw what it looked like. The picture is beautiful.
Okay.
Right? But there's also this spectrum of long live the arts that I think is really imperative for people to understand. We're talking about this great legend, the artist formerly known as Prince, and this incredible man who, does anybody know his real name?
Prince Nelson Rogers.
There you go.
Oh, it was Prince.
Yeah.
Prince Nelson Rogers.
Okay. So Mr. Rogers is no longer on this earth, but he will forever be on this earth because kids who are not here yet will still have heard his music, right? It's the same excitement when I see someone's child trying to moonwalk. We don't have Mike on this earth, but we got Mike on this earth.
Right.
So when I say long live the arts, I'm talking about long past my heart stop, you're going to hear this word flow. You know what I mean? This Saturday, I get to do a breathwork experience with some people attending an event of a book launch for Lindsay Locke. And she's introducing them to her organization called Locked In. She is the mother of Jay Renee, who was the R&B princess of Houston. She was killed by a drunk driver. And I just want to, acknowledge that she's still streaming. And the art of Jay Renee is too incredible not to acknowledge. Like, this young girl was only 19 years old when she was taken from us, but it was the most beautiful way that she was. Like her mom being able to get on that stage at the church and like speak with eloquence. Like, her voice didn't crack. She executed delivering the message of how her faith was so constant, even at the greatest grief of parents' loss. And I think that a lot of times people don't realize long after we're gone, we will continue to live just by the utterance of our names or the work we did. And so any artist like, Chucky Trill, they're in trial right now. He was murdered by hand of the wrong bullet falling on him in Atlanta last year. And it's just so tragic how even then, like even at the detriment of the impact of life being taken, not because they did something wrong, but because they were just in that space. His family is still, grieving. His family is still experiencing things. And I mean his whole family, his artist family, anybody in Houston who had a studio session with him, shook his hand, sat with him, knew how big his heart was, how incredible he was, how passionate he was about his kids and his wife. And so, long live the arts is not just a concept. I mean, like, the hashtag blew up years ago. It's still going. but the concept of what we're responsible for, we are standing on the shoulders of art. We're standing on the shoulders of the creatives that came before us to create space for us to have canvases to paint on and mics to spit in, and it's just a disservice if we don't pay homage to it.
Definitely.
Truly appreciate the culture. How do you feel about commercials on radio?
I
Do you
Whether-
listen to the radio anymore?
yes, even still, even with listen to radio and then XM radio, because still you still have
They
some
got
of because they
promo, yeah.
right, they gotta plug in the sponsors. So I'm kind of indifferent to it. When the commercial comes on, I kind of tune it out. So I don't really pay it any mind.
Depends on what they're talking about.
That too.
Just bad.
Like I get tired.
All know,
But we
you
know it.
all know who it is, and you know
Right.
the website. That
Exactly.
repetition be working.
Exactly. It is it's repetition, so it's stuck in your mind. It's like even the songs that you hate it, but I guarantee you know the chorus.
Yes, yep, it's
It's retarded.
Right.
Like, why do I know this song? I hate it.
right.
It's just, but it's repetition.
It's like
Okay.
those commercials when I hear one that I had never heard before and I'm
Right.
listening to it to see what they're talking about. Like, okay, that's something.
Right.
So we gotta do some shout outs real quick. What's up, Courtney? We got Tamia tuned in. Tamia said that she's gonna help me get hip to the songs I don't know.
Right,
I
right,
appreciate it.
Let
Maybe
them know it's live. We're
yeah,
live. They can call in.
I can't see the comments, but they commenting. Y'all can call in if you want to talk to us, get you a little order in. Tamia said that she wants a piece of cake, a little piece. Danessa said she wants for that carrot cake. So, what's up, Little Red? We need that. And I'm really excited to have y'all in here. But yes, rest in peace to Nipsey, Courtney. We still celebrate him. We just celebrated, Mambo Day yesterday, and his birthday was the day before. Shout out to Kobe. And even the art of skills, because art is something that, I think gets misunderstood by the way of how it is. We are art creative. Some of y'all be lying poorly. You're not great at being creative, but you create a reality in a sense. But I think that a lot of times we don't hold fast to the fact that we have access to shifting.
I don't necessarily think I think to me personally, I think it's because we are completely accessible to it. Right? So growing up, right, you were only introduced to what was in your element, right?
Yeah.
You was only introduced to what was in your element. If you grew up in a home with Prince, Michael Jackson, Apollonia, the time, if you grew up in a house like that and somebody else, the neighbors next door grew up with Stylistics, Delphonics, you be like, what is that? I never heard that.
Yeah.
So then, you was only exposed to your element, what you're in. Where now people are exposed to everything at once. It's almost like an overload. Like certain things people don't take time to register to understand what they're listening to. Because they're getting so much information, whether it be music, whether it be poetry, writing, so much is at one time that you have coming to you. You know what I mean? It's hard for people to really pay attention and grasp that one thing. Because everything is so accessible.
All kind of shit. All kind of people doing art.
Oh yeah.
That one lady with the two hands and the
Oh, hold on
feet.
now. Man, she's amazing. Even Kevo Arts. Kevo did my word petition tattoo in 2014. This dude is ambidextrous. He can draw and paint upright and down with both hands at the same time. He has an exhibit coming up, I think, this coming week.
Yeah, that's dope.
Just amazing people. But there is a saturation when you think about,
So much.
like how you said on Tuesday, the bread aisle. Right? Like you can go on the bread aisle and not be overwhelmed, but I mean it's overwhelming. Like there's rye, there's pumpernickel, there's white, there's
never
wheat,
had
there's
bread,
white
like,
wheat,
oh my
there's
God,
honey
I'll never
wheat, there's potato, like everything. But when you think about how we can take a piece of it all and make something beautiful, like when Nelly and Garth Brooks put a song together, I did not like it at first because I'm just like, it didn't sound good to me, but it was so played out that like I represent
fluid mix.
It helped transition even when he came out with Drop Down and Get Your Ego On, because like that was the only song I recognized back then that like didn't have intro music. You just dropped down and you dropped the bars.
Right.
You know, and even the saturation of like samples. So it's very disheartening to me when people say things or do things and don't acknowledge where they came from. Like, now you know damn well your ass didn't come up with that by yourself.
Oh yeah.
And so when I'm hearing older songs and I'm like, hold on, just that old? Like we've just remade everything. It makes no sense.
I
But
remember I
even-
used to, my daughter would play something, I'd go take the record out and check this out.
Right.
The same thing.
Hey, so, is that why I said that's why I know that jam, because that's where they got it from.
Right.
This song here. They kind of got it from this
Right.
original song, right?
Right.
You know,
So
that's why I
it's-
can get into this. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I do the same with, you know, with my son. Like, this is the original of that.
It matters.
Oh, definitely. Because you gotta know where
And
it
they
comes
kind of
from.
don't like it.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, that sounds nice, but you're listening to it.
Right.
You're listening to the music of it.
definitely,
They
definitely.
just put different words to this shit, that's all.
But yeah, the sampling, you gotta, in a way, yeah, and damn, what's the boy name? The white boy. Because they Jack Marvin
Eminem?
Gaye. No. A singer.
John B. He's light.
Oh man, Robin Thicke. Because Alan Thicke was the dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Robin Thicke. So it was Robin Thicke, Pharrell, and T.I. on the song. But it was, the music reminds you of Marvin Gaye. So the Marvin Gaye that actually won that lawsuit. So it was like a lot of the cadence was for, like, you didn't sample the song, but because it follows that cadence. But it was still a good song. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, because once you hear you hear the background vocals and the beat, it reminds you, like, you hear Marvin in it.
Guitar. I said, come on. Because telling me you want to do something, we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can sing, Mike. You cannot sing like them. They might not give you a deal, but you can get on that mic and you can do something. And there's apps for that.
Right.
We got, man, look, after T-Pain auto-tuned his voice and made millions, you can't tell me even my country voice don't sound cute with enough.
Milli Vanilli Company.
Look. Are they going to have locks or are they going to have fades?
I don't know. They got to do something. They could definitely make a comeback in today's music.
Gibberish. They just got to do this.
That's it. That's it.
I think the future of art has a beautiful opportunity. I feel like advocating for art is imperative, making sure that children have access to it.
Oh, definitely.
You know, it's not just the self-soothing of playing music or, you know, even the music in cartoons to help them understand elevation, inflection, and excitement, but allowing them that space of expression. Because a lot of times people misconstrue expression for disrespect. There's a place for it. When you put it on the mic, when you put it on the pad, when you put it on the canvas, when you put it on the dance floor, when you put it in the kitchen, any place you can create, it's no longer a problem that you're exchanging. It's the breaking of the yoke, the creating something from this space. And so I think that just as important as any other tool is deemed a hard skill, there's something so beautiful about art and creativity being implemented in that. You know, a creative acumen, if you will. A lot of times you think about the things that we have faced in a culture of shock where the entire nation has been impacted by this pandemic. You're the first business that I've experienced a complete reverse impact from the pandemic, right? Like you, boom.
Right.
And that's literally on some serendipitous timing, right?
Definitely.
Just absolutely beautiful. Y'all got to go back to Tuesday and tune in. Check him out on Wednesday. Like anything you see this guy's logo, watch that video again just so you can see the flow of it, because it took us to have 3 visits just to really encompass all that happens with Sweet Tooth Cheesecakes. You got an individual who's got 3 beautiful kids, a young man in his house becoming himself, a young girl who's about to graduate, baby girl always in the kitchen helping daddy do things, and a beautiful wife who you still hear Brian McKnight when you think of her. Like an absolute humbled man of service. And at the same time, he's in that kitchen making love to this mix and layering it with cake and cheesecake. Like, it makes my mouth water. Y'all go check the video yesterday for the Daily Smoke and the guys with all these cases of cheesecake. I mean, I'm jealous about it, but I'm happy that Los experienced some good ass cheesecake, some banana pudding cheesecake, and all the things that you make when you realize that there is a way for you to place your emotions in a beautiful space.
Definitely. And I saw something. I can't remember where I saw it or who said it, but whether you're cooking, it's music, you're writing, play, you know, to you don't have to create something from scratch. You don't have to always create something out the mud. You can still take something that already exists. Music is forever changing, right? Poetry is forever changing. Baking, all that stuff is forever changing. So I don't have to take something out the mud just like, okay, you know, this is something that's never been done. You can take something that's been done many times before and you can still make that great. You can still, because it's yours, it's unique, you know? So that's what makes it great. It doesn't just have to be something never done, never seen. It's just your rendition of it.
I got a rendition I want to share with y'all to breathe in. So I have been on the mic for 20 years. And every time I get on the mic, the first thing I say is take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. I got a few videos floating around the universe where I hear someone exhale too fast and I let them know they came too quick. I mean, you know, sexual innuendos are always great topics to bring in because it makes you feel a kind of way, but not to embarrass you, just to make you understand, like, you can take it fine. Yes. Yeah. And so a lot of times people do not realize they're not breathing. Anytime you find yourself in a rabbit hole, you know it because you're not breathing, you're not inhaling, you are plummeting to the spaces that you're allowing yourself to go of wonder and wondrous place. And not a level of certainty, right? But when you breathe, you welcome oxygen where your brain can function, right, effectively. You welcome peace. You welcome calm. You welcome the energy that keeps you here. And so typically people breathe like this. You know, like they wait till they can't hold it no more. And if they get pissed off, it's and they're just emitting negativity and circling it right back into their lungs, not realizing that our bodies are so well constructed that we can filter anything that's not meant for us to hold on to. Like an offense or an insult or something you have no control over. But at the same time, that same breath can be taken to ingest a compliment, a well-doing, or just the peace that you want to maintain. And so just as you said, like you can make a rendition to what's been being done the entire time. Man, I'm 38. I've been breathing. But the algorithm for me is a complete cycle of 10 seconds. You inhale for 3 seconds. You exhale for 7. And for me, it's the art of breathing that is truly the most advantageous for everyone walking this earth and those who are not walking this earth. Because in our mere existence, we have breath in our bodies. And like, man, somebody just sent me this incredible TikTok video talking about how when Moses had the courage to ask God what his name was, he said in the original translation, YHWH. And we transitioned that to Yahweh. We had to add a vowel, make it make sense. But the utterance initially was a breath. The Yah was an inhale and the way was an exhale. And so at the first cry of a baby at birth, at the first wail of a person in pain where words are not going to find them to their tongue's tip, you're saying God's name. Even someone who does not believe in the way in which he walked this earth or left it, they still utter his name. I like that. I like that there's so many facets of what breath does. But even for those who don't believe or not so spiritual based, it is still effective if you go for 3 in and out for 7. You want to try it?
That's right.
All right. Y'all can try this at home at your own discretion. If you have a respiratory issue, asthma, or have COVID, your deep breath might not feel so deep yet, but it is a beautiful thing to exercise and strengthen. And I promise you, if you do it 6 times, only 1 minute has passed and you are increasing your capacity to breathe deeper, to open yourself more, to receive what you're supposed to, and let go of what you're not. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. I love food.
Mm.
Feels great, y'all. I'm telling you, you should try it.
I need a massage with her.
Hey, to me, it's such a care. You know what? And in real life, to me, it tells you to take 3 deep breaths at the beginning of your massage to relax your body. Man, I'm telling you, y'all. It's just, I think everything I do, I focus on my breathing. And I mean, not in the sense of what a therapist would tell somebody with anxiety, because then it's like you focusing on hyperventilating and now you think you're about to die. But when you focus on the control you always have had, if you're breathing too heavy and it's too much, just hold it for a second. Take control, pull the reins, and then let it go. And get back to that space, because there is an art of existence that, you know, we can choose to be completely traumatized by the triggering factors of things that have happened to people who look like us, who walk about us, who are no longer among us, or we can decide to take advantage of the breath in our bodies and do something with it. You know, don't just let life flow through you with no purpose. We're walking out of the end of this month. It's already the end of August. September is National Suicide Prevention Month. And it's also sickle cell wellness, and it's also the cusp of coming into breast cancer for October and other things. And every day there is something to acknowledge, but please be mindful. There is a way to be proactive in your wellness. There's a way to be preventative in your well-being just by doing a few self-care things. If you don't have the resources to, you know, be consistent with, you know, getting your nails done all the time, getting your hair done all the time, or getting a massage all the time, contact a place that provides that service and see if you can get on a payment plan, because I promise you, you can't afford not to take care of yourself. Your self-care is as important as your light bill, your rent, your mortgage, your car note. It is your light. And when you do not care for yourself, your cup will dissipate. You're literally pouring into your job, pouring into your home, pouring into your kids, pouring into your friends, pouring into your spouse, and nobody has time to pour into you because you're too busy giving. But when you allow yourself to realize every plane trip, every time a stewardess said, put the mask on yourself first when turbulence hits, was a true lesson. The message is, if you are only going to serve and not be selfish enough to care for yourself first, you'll die giving. But if you put the mask on yourself, if you inhale first, if you fill yourself up, the disbursement is not exhaustion, it's sharing. And in doing so out loud, you're able to show people you too can do this on your own. Just take a deep breath in. The patience that you learn to acquire and uphold will literally get you through anything you face. But I promise you, everybody a part of the Daily Smoke, especially our continued members, we all know that we have a tool, a resource, or a supply that you can demand because you deserve it. And so make sure you subscribe to this series. Make sure that you stay tuned to the Daily Smoke. Make sure that you keep up with what we're doing, because I promise you, we need your support. $TV Smoke, you know, and it has nothing to do with asking you for money. I think the most beneficial investment of your coins is helping the messages that you know affected you be shared with other people. So the value of you sharing these videos, the value of you telling somebody to tune in, the value of you sharing this with a business that knows they need to actually reach people's homes. We're becoming household names. Because everybody watching this show on their TV, we big as shit. And it's not the sense of trying to overextend ourselves or outgrow this space. It's the fact that we are on the People's Podcast. That's yours. This is the Daily Smoke.
That's the saying, take staycations.
Yes. Staycations are, yes. Man, you can go on a website and find you a discounted thing. Go catch you one of them Airbnbs. You can even go in another room in your house. Like, there's a way. Change your perspective. Like, you can afford it. You cannot afford not to take care of you. So please, y'all, make sure you're breathing. You'll see me again on Tuesday for Taboo Tuesdays. I'm super excited about who I have coming to the show. Please subscribe, please support, but please stay tuned and support Sweet Tooth Cheesecakes in Missouri City, Texas, because Fort Bend County is better because this man exists. People drive from out of the city, out of the state for a slice of cake. You should too.
That's what I do.
This has been a great session with Michael Horn of Sweet Tooth Cheesecakes. You've been listening to me, the Word Mortician, for Long Live the Arts. And this is the Daily Smoke. Make sure you stay tuned. The next show, just like subscribe and watch it on TV. Go to sleep with it. But make sure that you tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. with Los for TGI Friday. You understand that this is an amazing, amazing opportunity to watch people just sit on the sofa and have a good time, because some people just need to realize you too can do this on the Daily Smoke.